The book of Exodus. It's the second book of the Bible, and it picks up the storyline from the previous book, Genesis, which ended with Abraham's grandson, Jacob, leading his large family of 70 people down to Egypt. Now, Jacob's 11th son, Joseph, had been elevated to second in command over Egypt, and he had saved his whole family in a famine. And so Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, offered the family to come live there as a safe haven. And so eventually Jacob dies there in Egypt, and Joseph and all his brothers do too. About 400 years pass, and the story of the Exodus begins. Now, that name refers to the event that takes place in the first half of the book, Israel's exodus from Egypt. But the book has a second half that takes place at the foot of Mount Sinai. In this video, we'll just focus on the first half, where centuries have passed, and the Israelites were fruitful and multiplied, and they filled the land. Now, this line is a deliberate echo back to the blessing that God gave all humanity back in the Garden of Eden. And it reminds us of the big biblical story so far. Humanity forfeited God's blessing through sin and rebellion, and so God chose Abraham's family as the vehicle through which he would restore his blessing to all the world. But the new Pharaoh does not view Israel as a blessing. He actually thinks this growing Israelite immigrant group is a threat to his power. And so just as in Genesis, humanity rebels against God's blessing, so here Pharaoh attempts to destroy the source of God's blessing, the Israelites. He brutally enslaves them in forced labor, and then he orders that all the Israelite boys be drowned in the Nile River. Now, Pharaoh, he is the worst character in the Bible so far. His kingdom epitomizes humanity's rebellion against God. Pharaoh has so redefined good and evil according to his own interests that even the murder of innocent children has become good to him. And so Egypt has become worse than Babylon from the book of Genesis. And so now Israel cries out for help against this new Babylon, and God responds. God first turns Pharaoh's evil upside down as an Israelite mother throws her boy into the Nile River, but in a basket. And so he floats safely right down into Pharaoh's own family. He's named Moses, and he grows up to eventually become the man that God will use to defeat Pharaoh's evil. In the famous story of the burning bush, God appears to Moses and commissions him to go to Pharaoh and order him to release the Israelites. And God says that he knows Pharaoh will resist, and so he will bring his judgment on Egypt in the form of plagues. Then God also says that he will harden Pharaoh's heart. And so we're introduced into the next main part of the story, the confrontation between God and Pharaoh. Now, what does this mean that God says he'll harden Pharaoh's heart? It's super important to read this section of the story really closely and in sequence. In Moses and Pharaoh's first encounter, we're told simply that Pharaoh's heart grew hard. There's no implication that God did anything. And so in response, God sends the first set of 5 plagues, each one confronting Pharaoh and one of his Egyptian gods. And each time, Moses offers a chance for Pharaoh to humble himself and to let the Israelites go. But after each plague, we're told that Pharaoh either hardened his heart or that his heart grew hard. He's doing this of his own will. And so eventually, it's with the second set of 5 plagues that we begin to hear how God hardened Pharaoh's heart. So the point of the story seems to be this. Even though God knew that Pharaoh would resist his will, God still offered him all of these chances to do the right thing. But eventually, Pharaoh's evil reaches a point of no return. I mean, even his own advisors think that he has lost his mind. And it's at that point that God takes over and bends Pharaoh's evil towards his own redemptive purposes. God lures Pharaoh into his own destruction as he saves his people, which is what happens next. With the final plague, it's the night of Passover, and God turns the tables on Pharaoh. Just as he killed the sons of the Israelites, so God will kill the firstborn in Egypt with a final plague. But unlike Pharaoh, God provides a means of escape through the blood of the Lamb. And here the story stops and introduces us in detail to the annual Israelite ritual of Passover. On the night before Israel left Egypt, they sacrificed a young, spotless lamb and painted its blood on the doorframe of their house. And when the divine plague came over Egypt, the houses covered with the blood of the lamb were passed over, and the sun spared. And so every year since, the Israelites have reenacted that night to remember and to celebrate God's justice and his mercy. But Pharaoh, because of his pride and rebellion, he loses his own son, and he's compelled to finally let the Israelites go free. And so the Israelite slaves make their exodus from Egypt. But no sooner do they leave that Pharaoh changes his mind, and he gathers his army and chases after the Israelites for a final showdown. As the Israelites pass through the waters of the sea safely, Pharaoh charges towards his own destruction. The Exodus story concludes with the first song of praise in the Bible. It's called the Song of the Sea. And the final line declares that the Lord reigns as king. And then the song retells in poetry what the story of God's kingdom is all about. It's about how God is on a mission to confront evil in his world and to redeem those who are enslaved to evil. God is going to bring his people into the promised land where his divine presence will live among them. This story is what it looks like when God becomes king over his people. So after the Israelites sing their song, the story takes a sharp turn. The Israelites, they're trekking through the wilderness on their way to Mount Sinai, and they're hungry, they're thirsty, and they start criticizing Moses and God for even rescuing them. They say they long for the good old days in Egypt. I mean, it's crazy. So God graciously provides food and water for Israel in the wilderness, but these stories, they cast a dark shadow. And we begin to wonder, could it be that Israel's heart is just as hard as Pharaoh's? We shall see. But for now, that's the first half of the book of Exodus.
All right. What are some themes you saw? Mm-hmm. Yep. And so here we have someone who sees himself as a god, Pharaoh. And so he challenges, he straight up goes, I am the definition of good and bad. I lay it down. Yeah. And so here comes Yahweh. It's like, you got to let my people go. And, it's like his judgment comes after multiple opportunities of mercy. Because right before there was Joseph, and the Pharaoh at that time, noticed, what's going on. And actually, since he blessed the Israelites, Egypt was also blessed. And again, this whole partnership was so that they become a blessing to the nations. Are you ready? Compassion and openness to learning. In the year King Ahaz died, this prophecy came. Oh, let's pray. King Jesus, you are holy, holy, and true. Thank you that we have today. Thank you that we are surrounded with your blessings. May we utilize them for loving and serving the other. Thank you, King Jesus, that you confront evil. We thank you are the God who confronts evil. And thank you, King Jesus, that when it comes to the future judgment, you have waited. And we're here because of your long-standing patience. Reveal to us again what your plan and purpose is as we need you. Amen. In the year King Ahaz died, this prophecy came. Don't rejoice, all you Philistines, because the club of the one who hit you has broken. Because from the snake's root a viper will come out, its fruit a flying seraph. Their firstborn a poor people will pasture. The needy will lie down in safety, but I'll kill your root with hunger. I will slay the remains of you. Howl, gate, cry out, city, melt, all you Philistines. Because a cloud is coming from the north. There's no one going astray in its appointed rank. What will one answer the nation's aid? That Yahweh has established Zion, and on it the lowly of his people will rely. A prophecy about Moab. Yes, by night Ar has been destroyed. Moab has been devastated. Yes, by night Kir has been destroyed. Moab has been devastated. Dibon has gone up to the house, to the high places to weep. Over Nebu and over Medeba, Moab howls. On every head in it there is shoreness. Every beard is cut off. In its streets they wear sackcloth. On its roofs and its squares, everyone in it howls, falling down with weeping. Hashbon and Elilah cry out. Their voice makes itself heard in Jahaz. Therefore the armed men of Moab shout. Its spirit trembles within it. My heart cries out for Moab. Its fugitive as far as Seor, as far as Eglat Shelisayah. Yes, the ascent of Lahut. With weeping they climb. Yes, the road to Horonem. They raise a shattering cry. Yes, the waters of Nimrin became a great desolation. Yes, the grass is dry. The vegetation is finished. Greenery has ceased. Therefore, the abundance they've made and what they have in their charge, they carry them across the willow's wash. Yes, the cry has surrounded Moab's borders, as far as Iglam is its howl, and in Bir Elam its howl. Yes, the waters of Dimon are full of blood. Yet I'll put more on Dimon, a line for the survivors of Moab, for the remains of the land. Send a ram belonging to the country's ruler, from Selah in the wilderness to the mountain of Mizion, like a bird flittering, a nest thrown out. Are the Moabite women at the fords of the Arnon? Bring us counsel, make a decision. Make your shadow like night at midday. Shelter the banished, don't betray the fugitive. The people banished from Moab should sojourn with you. Be a shelter for them from the face of the destroyer. When the oppressor is no more, when destruction finishes, when the devastator has come to an end from the country, a throne will be established with commitment. There will sit on it in truthfulness, in David's tent one who exercises authority, inquiring after judgment and quick in faithfulness. We have heard of Moab's majesty, very majestic. Its majesty, its loftiness, and its arrogance. Its empty talk is not like that. Therefore, Moab should howl. Everyone in it should howl for Moab. For the blocks of raisins from Quir Hareset you should moan. Utterly stricken. Because the terrace of Heshbon languish. The vines of Semah. The nation's lords have struck down their clusters that had reached as far as Jazar, that wandered into the wilderness. When their shoots spread, they crossed to the sea. Therefore I'll weep with Jazar's weeping. For Sibnah's vines, I drench you with my tears. Heshbon and Elilah, because over your summer fruit and over your harvest, the cheering has died. Rejoicing and gladness are gathered up from the farmland. In the vineyards, no one resounds, no one shouts. Wine in the presses, the treader doesn't tread. I have made the cheering stop. Therefore my heart moans for Moab like a guitar, my spirit for Quir Heres. When Moab appears, when it wearies itself at the high place, when it comes to its sanctuary to pray, it will not avail. This is the word that Yahweh spoke for Moab previously, but now Yahweh has spoken. In 3 years, in accordance with the years of an employee, Moab's splendor with all its great multitude will be humbled. The remains will be a small thing, tiny, not much. So, any themes you saw? Yeah. What nation it seems like? And Moab. Yep. The oppressors become oppressed. Because, like Moab's god, all these gods want child sacrifices and just want terrible compromise that just leads to destruction. I have mentioned that my wife's daughter and son-in-law give their lives to seeking to make known the plight and needs of the hundreds of thousands of Darfari refugees who fled from genocide in Sudan 10 years ago and have been living since then in camps in Chad. My wife gets discouraged because it seems impossible to get the world to take their plight seriously and do something about it. It's as if Satan or God has blocked the world's ears to their cry. One reason why Satan or God has been able to do so is what is often termed the world's compassion fatigue. There's a limit to the energy available in the world to care about the needs of desperate peoples, and the Darfari are the victims of this dynamic. Maybe Isaiah helps Judah in this connection in his prophecy about Moab. Just east of Judah, across the Dead Sea, the Old Testament expresses two attitudes in Moab. It tells scandalous stories about Moab, for instance, casting aspersions on its origins. These stories reflect a tension between neighbors who were often fighting each other. In Isaiah's day, Moab joined the peoples rebelling against Assyria. But the Old Testament also tells a story about a Moabite woman called Ruth who came to believe in Yahweh and commit herself to a Judahite family, and in particular to her widowed mother-in-law, and about the way the Judahites of Bethlehem welcomed her into their community so that she became David's great-grandmother. Isaiah begins his Moab chapters with a vision of Moab's destruction, or rather of its situation after its destruction. Like the prophecy about Babylon, it likely describes something that has happened in the prophet's imagination, not yet in actuality. One of its functions is to get Judah to understand Moab's potential destiny and be forewarned about the danger of allying with Moab. The closing verses of this section declare that the vision is about to find fulfillment. The first paragraph about Moab describes cities scattered through Moab coping with the consequences of invasion, the grief that consumed people, and the places toward which people from those cities fled for refuge, carrying their possessions like those Darfari refugees fleeing genocide in Sudan. Their cry makes itself heard throughout the country. Isaiah uses the word for the Israelites' cry in Egypt. You know what that same cry is? Yep. So, yeah. Yep, Yahweh hears the cries of the sufferers. His own feelings are suggested by the way he himself cries out for Moab. It's the same word. He also tells us that Yahweh isn't yet finished with bringing calamity on Moab. The middle paragraph about Moab begins with either Israel with Isaiah or Yahweh urging Moab to send a present from its king to Jerusalem. Apparently, leadership has taken refuge at Selah and Edom, which later became the Nabatean city of Petra, while Moabite women whose men have lost their lives crossed the Arnon, the Israel-Moab boundary, looking for refuge. Perhaps it's these women in their female wisdom who uttered the plea to Judah to offer Moab protection. They declare that turning Jerusalem into the Davidic king isn't merely a temporary expedient to get them through a crisis. Somehow their experience has made them willing to look to the Davidic king for the truthful, committed, faithful exercise of authority. So it is in the prophetic vision. The place where Yahweh dwells is the only place for a nation in despair to turn, and even Moab can turn there. The last paragraph takes us back to disaster. This section isn't arranged chronologically. Moab's impressiveness, its proper national pride, and its self-confidence have been extinguished. Its impressive vineyards that seem to reach across the world and the rest of its farmland have been devastated. In response to his vision, once again, the prophet mourns for Moab. The Moabites may turn to their gods, but it will get them nowhere. There's no suggestion that calamity comes on Moab as an act of judgment, still less judgment for Moab's enmity to Judah. Many events in history don't have that kind of significance. They are just things that happen. They do open up possibilities, as Jesus puts it in Luke 13. The collapse of a tower in Siloam didn't mean the victims were worse sinners than others. The question the story raises is what other people will learn from the event. Here the question is whether Judah will learn from it. For Moab, the question would be whether it draws them to turn to Yahweh, preferably before disaster comes. The opening paragraph in this section suggests that Philistine was tempted to rebel against Assyria like Moab. An Assyrian king has died, and the Philistines think it might be a good moment for people like Philistine and Judah to assert their independence. Don't be so silly, Isaiah says. The next king will be even worse. Once again, the audience of Isaiah's prophecy includes Judah itself. Its point is to get Judah to live by trusting Yahweh, not by political calculation. People who do so will find pasture and will live in safety. If Philistine does rebel, it will pay a price, but the prophecy is sparing in the way it specifies. Sparing in the way it specifies. Who can be the beneficiaries of its invitations? Okay, if Philistine does rebel, it will pay a price, but the prophecy is sparing in the way it specifies. Who can be the beneficiaries of its invitation. It's open to the Philistines to count themselves among the people who find pasture and safety, who find refuge in Zion and its God. Such is the message to the envoys from Philistine. As Moab, it's open to Philistine to turn to Yahweh. All right. Any themes you saw? So it's making a pretty good connection with his kids and their connection with the Dafar people. How they're going through calamity, and it's like no one is hearing their voice. And that's happening to a lot of the people who are suffering in Gaza. And now that, oh man, all that sadness of just people losing homes, schools being bombed. And then also just there are regions where people are experiencing suffering. And Gaza and Ukraine are two places that get a lot of coverage, but there are a lot of places around the world that is not getting coverage. And so it looks as if no one's hearing their cry.
Besides Yahweh and a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm. All right, friend, we can start. All right, I'm going to go get some water and I'll be right back. I will be also.
It is good to... Can I interest you in some of my wares? Tell me more. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. That's more than I'd usually pay.
That's Elvin.
Another satisfied? Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in? Thank you. You've showed me... mercy. I won't forget that. It is good. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. Come back and... You showed... me mercy. I won't forget that. It is good to... I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. You should... showed me mercy. It is good. Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in? You got a great deal there. That's a good deal. That seems a fair price. Come back. You showed me mercy. I won't forget that.
Astinia Aetius. I want no part of the Sintai. I'm fed up with the senseless feuding, blood spill. If you're looking for books, farewell.
I have been I am pleased that Thorinir has... I understand Mandil. The very thought of what Agarmir was doing sickens me. I hope those poor souls rest in peace now that this is over. Well done! This shovel will certainly confirm Agarmir. In your absence, Thorinir visited and we spoke at length about his... He told me of his intentions to donate all of the money and inventory to the local temple. He also agreed to buy and sell Last but not least, he's officially joined the society. I am taken aback by his honest intention. In return, the society has decided not to press charge. Now, I'm sure you are waiting to hear many things. I'm mature enough to admit I was mistaken about Thor. I offer the finest goods and the lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. Thank you. It's been a pleasure doing business.
It is good to be back here. May Talos guide you. Sorry, but I'm... Yes?
Herbal Grow Orkog knows you need axes and blunt slash and smash. The Big Orc Weapons Shop. Where else? You have to be. Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you? I appreciate. All right. I put you thank you for me. Thanks. Farewell.
It is good to... What can I interest you in? You drive a hawk. You drive a... Please return soon. It's always a... Pleasure to see you. It is... May I interest you in some of my fine wares? A fine transaction. A pleasure. Please return soon. It's always a
Is there no...
Didier Ormely, a ship's clerk. Many of Anvil's folk are directly or indirectly associated with ships and sailing. Sailors, ship owners, men made rich and poor by the sea trade, and the lonely wives of men who follow the sea. I swear that when I passed by Benerus Manor last night, I heard someone scream from inside. Velwyn Benerus will never sell that death trap. That layabout? You can find him wasting time at the Count's Arms.
one who would stand for the Nine? Who will... walk the pilgrim's way? Oh my! To what do I owe this honor? I am but a humble prophet. What business do you have with me? This is only the beginning. Umaril has returned, as foretold by Pelinal Whitestrake in his dying breath. Umaril the Unfeathered, the sorcerer king of the Aelids, who ruled over this land for long ages before the rise of men. He was cast down by Pelinal Whitestrake, but Umaril's spirit survived, and now he has returned to seek vengeance upon the gods. Does no one remember the old tales? Saint Pelinal, the divine crusader of legend, Alicia's companion when she overthrew the rule of the Aelids 3,000 years ago. Pelinal, with the aid of the gods, fought the Aeliad sorcerer King Umaril and slew him. But Umaril's spirit survived, and he has now returned. Do you understand nothing? The blood speaks. I can read the ancient runes if you cannot. As uibala, umarale el nada rakuva. In the Aeliad tongue, by the eternal power of Umaril, the mortal gods shall be cast down. A curse upon Umaril's ancient foes, and a threat. Alas, Umaril cannot be stopped. Not without the aid of the gods, not without the Crusaders' relics, without a champion. The gods are powerless to act. But who among us is worthy to wield the divine Crusaders' weaponry? You would quest for the holy panoply of Pelinal Whitestrake? The legendary relics that have been sought by mighty warriors throughout the ages? Are you a worthy knight? Well then, hail, hero of Kvatch! Let me add one more voice to the never-ending chorus of praise. I'm sure one of your many devotees will be able to guide you on your way to find the Crusaders' relics. The weapons and armor of Pelinal Whitestrake, Alicia's comrade, granted to him by the 8 divines. He went alone into the White Gold Tower, challenged the Aeliad sorcerer King Umaril to single combat, and slew him. Alas, Umaril was not truly slain, but only cast beyond the bounds of Nirn. And now he has returned to wreak his vengeance upon the gods. Only a true knight. But alas for Tamriel, who now can... Are you? Then I'm sure you will have no trouble finding the rest. Why do you come? He is the enemy of all who walk free on Tamriel today. A survivor of the ancient race of Aeliad slave masters who once ruled Cyrodiil. He was struck down by Pelinal, but by his art, Umaril had bound himself to the realm of his mistress, the Daedra Lord Meridia. So he was not slain, but simply cast adrift upon the waters of oblivion. Now he has returned to seek vengeance upon the gods who helped bring about his downfall so many ages ago. Are you? Well, a humble heart is a good starting point. The gods grant insight to those they deem worthy. Why, and what I can tell you is that, traditionally, knights who wish to quest for the relics would walk the pilgrim's way, travel to the way shrines of the 9 divines, pray to each of the gods in turn, and ask their favor upon your quest. If the gods deem you worthy, you will be granted a sign. Go forth.
Do you?
With the 9
I recommend playing New World though on your own account or like on the Pro maybe, so that if Brendan ever plays. Well, you got DX12 or DX11. DX12 is the newer one. DX11 is the older one. That's what Legacy means. So that's DX12.
Yes.
Walking the pilgrim's way is the traditional start of a holy quest. Follow the map I
Yeah,
gave you.
fast.
Visit the way shrines of the Nine. Pray and wait for a sign. He was defeated, but not destroyed by help only. May the 8 and 1 guide.
Yeah, there's a little endless.
Let's get
Mm-hmm.
Your
Mhm.
steps.
Hmm.
Stuff at all in this game. If there's a free time to switch to models, okay. Look how fast this goes on the computer. Now. Ah. Takes a while. It's a big graphics game. Oh no. Still have a world account.
Definitely in 2019 Pro. That's like a classic U name. Well, it doesn't look like. Maybe Aquarius. Try that one. Oh. Guess they only have 2 worlds open for the West anymore. So it looks like there is a newer one, but they still kept this game going. Oh, they like announced it as like an ARPG.
I mean, what if they just haven't done much yet? What if they just released it, okay? Let's pretend they released it. Okay,
Gotta hit allow. You want?
Why? Corey can switch. Wait, Corey. Should I just create new characters to see if they reworked anything?
Sure, if you want to.
Because if anything's different,
I feel like there was like
are you doing research?
I'm looking.
I'll just create a new character, honestly. Yeah, I remember this. I remember. Wait, is that different? That looks different. Yeah, this is different. It did not used to be like that, Corey. I think this is the new one. Because before it would be different. Yeah, see, that is a lot different, Corey. Corey, that is a lot more different.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that is brand Corey. You do not see that. That is brand new.
Hmm.
This is definitely a new one. Oh yeah, he's evil.
So yeah, I guess New World of Term is the new one, so you are playing the right one.
Yes. I'm just creating a new character, honestly. I just really don't care because I want to see the reworks.
There might be some things locked because you don't have the expansion, but I
Hey,
don't.
no. Hey, it's still new. It's still new experiences. Oh, I can choose my weapon type now. I can choose my weapon type. Oh, that's crazy. So they have different skills? Oh, this is so new, Corey.
Hmm.
Let's be honest. What type of guy am I with these kind of games? I feel like I close range.
Well, you could always switch between them. Remember? Yes, sweet Q. Well, that's old. It's me dump my beautiful daughter. There you go.
This is definitely it's actually a lot better. Because you're on a
Mm-hmm.
So stupid.
rise of the angry earth. So a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, it was for 20, but I think so. Let's see here. I think, well, that's since so we have, if you look, it says for New World Eternium, previous players have to have the Rise of the Angry Earth. So it literally hit the question mark. Yeah, but then on other things, when I was reading, that's why I didn't think we have access to it for New World Outrun, because it said to get it, you have to have also the DLC. So I imagine they're locking you from the experience. No. It's just to play New World Term, you have to get the DLC.
It's just your add-on. That's all it is. Just your add-on. That's all it is. It's just your add-on.
Well, that's just what their rule is. Is it growing? Yes, it's just telling you the servers. That's not the internet on us because you won't be able to see your character. Yeah, it's something on its own. Just go to Google and see if your computer connects to the internet. You know, you can easily hit the internet connection. I'll let you. When you're done trying, then we have to go through steps, okay? But I'll let you keep on trying. As a new world base game, Rise of the Earth expansion. Yeah, see?
That was as
Yep, Rise of the Earth expansion. That's another door of oblivion. Is it? I do have a shield equip. It's just not showing my character on that page. Nope. Yeah. Nice. Because I beat the arena, so it's like a new enhanced version of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's super upped up light armor pretty much. I picked the light armor versions. I know I'm going to find better heavy armor. And when I'm low level with not that much weight and capacity, I would rather... What I have right now have souped up light armor. The thing about arena armaments is like it takes over like 5 slots. It's not good long term. Yeah, it's connected to the same place. You both go down to the keep. See, it's the other side. I just need to go down. Oh. I thought you'll like it. This is a bomb. Oh, okay. Oh, this is definitely in the portal. Maybe. We'll see.
That's crazy. Why did you go back in time?
If you are charging and you hold it, you do kind of like a dash attack. Does extra damage. It's a power attack. There's that power attack, and there's like the charge power attack. I'm trying to close it, so which is by one of these places. There's a way to just close the portal. And I think it's right here. This direction was closed last time. Yep. That's a good question. Please. Hmm?
Didn't
Hmm.
If that was real life, that'd be crazy.
That won't give me like extra, like, oh, raise my magic. It's like, oh. That's not what I'm looking for. One of these shrines. Look for that shrine. Oh, I still got quite a ways to go. Mm-hmm. 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 I discovered this week. There any fast travel to it? It's there. Nope. Hmm.
What's that?
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
You move like a pregnant cow.
What's the matter? Getting tired?
It's you, the hero of Kvatch. This is truly an honor.
Well met, citizen. I see few new faces these days, it seems. He preaches in Anvil. Appeared right after the attack on...
The Kvatch Oblivion Gate has been closed.
Stay safe, citizen. These are dark times.
Well met. Come, warm yourself by our fire. Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kava. Good day.
I think we should just pack up and go home.
Have faith, Alois. I'm sure my father was... Think of something.
Your father was the one that got us into this mess.
Try not to worry so much, dear.
Hello, my friend. A word of advice. Watch for goblins if you're heading north. I don't even know what a will-o'-the-wisp is, much less how to kill one. I think they're just swamp gas myself. Watch out for them if you're heading north. We ran into goblin war parties northwest of here while starting to build a new settlement. My family and I are still trying to figure out what to do. We spent everything we had to buy the land and supplies, so we can hardly go back. Say, do you think you could help us? We need to get the goblins off our land so we can start building our new settlement. I had a good feeling about you, friend. You should talk to Marisa about the goblins. She's our guide and knows what needs to be done. She's a wilderness guide we hired to lead our expedition to Cropsford. Saved our lives when the goblins attacked. We plan to call it Cropsford. My daughter Kalia, her husband Alois, and I came all the way from High Rock to start a new life here. We have a charter from the county. Everything done official and by the book. I'm sure now that they knew all along that the Hand was in goblin territory. But no matter. Who cares if a few settlers get themselves killed? Have you made any progress? It's northwest of here along the Yellow Road. You'll see some of our supplies near the road where we left them when... Bye.
If it's about Cropsford, please talk to my father. It was my father's dream for us to start a new life there. He spent everything he had to buy the land. Now it all seems to be... Barthel Garland is my father. I'm worried about him. I think it will break his heart if we can't build Cropsford. Everything was going well. We had set up camp at Cropsford, and it looked like a beautiful spot. Then, the goblins attacked. Thank Ifra that Marisa was there. Without her, the goblins would have surely killed us all. My father hired her as a guide at an inn south of here. Good thing, too. She saved our lives and led us safely back here after the goblin attack. I don't even know what a will-o'-the-wisp is, much less how to kill one. I think they're just swamp gas myself.
How goes it?
What?
Way shrines.
If you need anything, talk to my father-in-law. This whole expedition. If you ask Barthel, it's the garden spot of Tamriel. See for yourself. It's just northwest of here. But watch out for the goblins. Barthel Garland. He talked us into selling our comfortable house in High Rock to start a new settlement. He read something about cheap land being offered by the government. Of course, nobody said anything about the swarming goblins. We had just set up at Cropsford when Marisa came running in. Said goblins were heading our way. We barely escaped with our life. Mud crabs. What's the point? Bye.
It's my pleasure. Please continue. Follow the Yellow Road northwest from here. You've agreed to help them clear the goblins from Cropsford? That's great news. I've done some scouting around while we've been camped here, and it looks like Cropsford is right in the middle of a goblin war. The caves around here are infested with goblins. Normally, goblins stay close to their lairs, but two tribes are at war, and their war parties are crossing right through Cropsford. What you'll need to do is stop the war some. The two nearest are Timber-Scar Cave and Cracked Wood Cave. Here, I've marked them on your map. Unfortunately, Cropsford is... Goblins have their own reasons for doing things. Don't make sense to us, usually. Each tribe guards a head in its lair. Whose head, I don't know. a sacred tribal totem, or something like that. And I'd lay odds that the war between the two tribes is because of a stolen tribal head, nor the reason for a war to go on this long. So, to stop the war, all you need to do is sneak into Timberscar Cave, find the stolen tribal head, and return it to the Cracked Wood Cave goblins. Unless you want to do things the hard way. Well, you could always just fight your way into Cracked Wood Cave and kill their shaman. Every goblin tribe is led by a shaman, but she mostly stays hidden in the heart of the lair, well protected. But kill the shaman, and the tribe will dissolve into confusion, most likely end the war. Like I told you, either kill the attacking tribe's shaman, or neither one sounds like... Good luck, and don't underestimate the goblin. They're more...
Actually, it is. Well, it's that time. Yeah. Oh, we'll say that at 4:05 I'll start, okay?
How are you? How are you?
Yes.
Hello. It is good to...
Oh.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
You typed it in right. So you got to think of what food you're looking for. You're looking for carrots? You have to type in carrots.
I need a lot of food.
Well, then you just gotta think what kind of food is there in the game. Are there carrots? So then type in carrots. Well, you just gotta
That's a
type
fair
it.
deal. That's more. That's it. Others satisfied? Please return soon.
Right. What's that? Oh, nice. Okay.
Don't feel like Taco Tuesday, but it's not Taco Tuesday, it's Taco Thursday. Jeez.
It's true.
No, if we get Taco Tuesday, we're calling it Taco Thursday.
Huh.
Tuesdays don't matter anymore.
It is good. Tell me more. I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
It's like Little Caesars, but 2 times.
Hmm.
Why do you want it?
That seems a fair price.
Little Caesars times 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
An excellent bargain.
Also,
You want it. You're like, get in my belly.
Taco Thursday now, not Taco Tuesday.
That's a good deal. That's...
Thank you. Come again.
Please return soon.
You just have to. All right.
It's always a pleasure.
The gamer duck. Mm-hmm. 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 You ready?
Well, actually, I want to wait for my taco.
Is that what you're asking? Is waiting until your tacos are done?
To see you.
Okay.
It is only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in? Please return.
Me and my 59 grapes.
That's a lot of grapes.
Hey, you got any grapes? It is very cringy.
You got any grapes? No, get out of here. That's basically
Do you remember the people singing at your school? That song? Yeah, it was like back during a summer school. People came in, they were singing that song. Like they're a paid artist. It's where we did the golden fish rule, which we talked about. Is that same? Was that same?
I remember a time.
Well, like a steak is like for health. Yep. So where's the venison? Right there. Oh,
Bruh.
misclicked. But you can never. You can in this game.
That's why I grab all that bread.
I'm going to say that's what makes them so tasty.
It makes them tasty, but it makes it so messy to eat. Like I just have to eat.
That's funny. It just collects it all.
I'm over here saying, doing computer, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're based on like something in life, but
okay, yeah, but it didn't even look like a mushroom.
but this is like I don't need a clicker. No. Ooh, there's more restore health.
I said just do restore health.
That's what I try doing. I try to do the restore health. I also try to do chameleon and invisible first if I see it. I can't mark it. It's not that. I could filter it, but that takes too long. I could do filters, but ooh, there's chameleon. And they're all going to go into my money.
I need to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's always a. It is good. Calendil runs a nice place at the Mystic Emporium. By all accounts, he preaches that you should go to Anvil and hear him for yourself if you're interested.
Actually.
They say he only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in? That's.
Hmm.
A fine transaction.
Oh, yummy. Looks tasty.
It's very tasty, very messy.
Yeah.
That's a fair deal. That seems that's a good deal.
Come back and see.
Please return soon. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Actually, I have like full 100. Like, he likes me. A little too much. I'm just joking. I have like, I have full 100, so we're buds. All right. Isaiah chapter 17. Chapter 18. Who would want to be a superpower? A prophecy about Damascus. There is Damascus, removed from being a city. It will become a fallen ruin. The seas of Ar will be abandoned. They will be for flocks, and they will lie down, no one disturbing. Fortress will cease from Ephraim, kingship from Damascus. The remains of Syria will become like the Israelite splendor, a declaration of Yahweh armies. On that day, Jacob's splendor will become poor. The fat of his body will become thin. It will be like the gathering of the standing harvest, when someone's arm harvests the ears, like the gleaning of ears in the vale of Rephaim. There will remain gleaning in it, like the beating of an olive tree, 2-3 berries on the top, the height, 4 or 5 on a fruitful bough, a declaration of Yahweh, the God of Israel. On that day, a person will turn to his maker. His eyes will look to Israel's Holy One. He won't turn to the altar that are the work of his hands. He won't look to what his fingers made, both the columns and the incense stand. On that day, his strong cities will be like the abandoned piece of woodland and heights, that a people abandoned before the Israelites. It will be a desolation. Yes, ye put out of mind the God who delivers you. Your strong crag you have not kept in mind. Therefore you may plant the plants of the lovely one, and sow the cutting of an alien God. On the day you plant, you may get them to grow, and in the morning you sow, get it to blossom. The harvest flees on the day of sickness and mortal pain. Ah, the uproar of many peoples, that roar like the seas roar, the din of nations, that make a din like the din of mighty waters. Nations make a din like the din of many waters, but he bellows at it, and it flees far away. Driven like the chaff on the mountains before the wind, like tumbleweed before the storm. Toward evening time there, terror. Before morning it is no more. This is the share of the people who despoil us, the lot of the people who plunder us. Hey, country of the buzzing of wings, that is beyond the rivers of Sudan, which sends envoys by sea, and papyrus boats on the water's surface. Go, swift aids, to a nation towering and smooth, to a people feared far and near, a nation characterized by gibberish and aggressiveness, whose country streams divide. All you inhabitants of the world, people who dwell on the earth. At the raising of a signal on the mountains you should look, and at the sounding of the horn you should listen. Because Yahweh has said this to me, I'll be quiet and I'll look to my place, like glowing heat in the sunshine, like a dew cloud in the heat of harvest. Because before harvest, when the blossom is done, and the flower becomes a ripening grape, he will cut the shoots with pruning knives, and the tendrils he has removed, he will have taken away. They will be abandoned, all of them, to the birds of prey of the mountains and the animals of the earth. The birds of prey will summer on them, and all earth's animals will winter on them. At that time, tribute will be brought to Yahweh armies, a people towering and smooth, a people feared far and near, a nation characterized by gibberish and aggressiveness, whose country streams divide, to the place of the name of Yahweh armies, Mount Zion. All right, takeaways? Yeah. It seems like it turning the world upside down. That's what I'm getting. Two days ago, the news reported that for every soldier who died on the battlefield in Afghanistan, 25 veterans committed suicide at home. It's such an unbelievable statistic, I have just checked it again. Yesterday, the news reported that the Taliban had undertaken a concerted offensive in Kabul that suggests an increasing sophistication and discipline that has made a former White House Afghanistan director express concern at the implied intelligence failure. Today's news includes suggestions about a similarity between the position of the United States today and that of Britain in 1945, when it could no longer afford to run an empire and had lost the willpower to do so. It's hard being an imperial power, even a soft one. The center of this section has something to say about an imperial power, but the outside two paragraphs concerns further individual peoples. It begins with Damascus, the capital of Syria. Isaiah 7 already critiqued the alliance of Ephraim with Syria, designed to resist Assyrian ambition in their area. This new paragraph restates its declaration about the calamity coming on Syria and again associates Ephraim with its fate. So Syria and Ephraim alike, there will be only remnants of their present splendor. They'll be like an emaciated person or the leftovers of a harvest. Just a few olives on a branch too high to reach. Yet that word remnant continues to be capable of having its meaning turn upside down. If there are only remnants left, at least there are remnants. The first on that day prophecy envisions them seeing the error of their ways and finding their way back to Yahweh. Even for Ephraim, the end need not be the end. Indeed, the prophecy doesn't make explicit that it's talking about Ephraim. If the entire prophecy is about Damascus, the possibility of turning to Yahweh is open to Syria too. The last paragraph takes us in the opposite direction. Turning away from the north to the south from Judah, it talks about Sudan because a Sudanese dynasty ruled Egypt in Isaiah's day, and Egypt directly impacts Judah as the big power to the south, from their insect-ridden land, the land of the Nile with its delta. The Sudanese send their envoys to Jerusalem by sea along the Mediterranean coast. Isaiah bids the envoys go home to their tall, smooth-skinned people, widely respected in the world today. The rationale for his brisk response is the same as applies to similar overtures from Ephraim and Syria. Judah isn't in the business of playing politics. Isaiah presents his message as one for the whole world to recognize. Decisions in politics are not made by people like Syria, Ephraim, Judah, Egypt, Sudan, or Syria itself. They're made by Yahweh. At the moment, Yahweh is just sitting there watching. There are moments when he is active and moments when he bids his time. Our human attempts to control our destiny sometimes simply fail because they don't fit into the intentions he's pursuing in the time frame he's working with. Yahweh is like a farmer sitting, waiting in the heat of summer for the right moment to harvest the crops. But before the grape harvest, there's further tough pruning and discarding to be done. Yes, there's a divine purpose at work at a quite different level from the one at which the politicians are operating. Again, the implication is simply that there's never to be a relationship between Yahweh and far-off nations such as Sudan. A time will arrive when they'll come to Jerusalem not just on a political mission. These tall, smooth-skinned, frightening, aggressive people with their strange language will come back to bring Yahweh an offering, to recognize the significance of Zion in a new way. The paragraph about Syria, Ephraim, and Sudan, Egypt from the frame around this section, at the center stand two short paragraphs that don't name their addressees but imply their identity clearly. The first beings by talking about an abandoned land. It uses a word that came in the warning to Judah in Isaiah 6 and comes nowhere else in the Bible. It addresses you, and you is feminine singular. Speak in the way one speaks to Jerusalem. If Judahites and Jerusalemites were comforted by declarations about trouble coming on people such as Syria, Ephraim, and Sudan, Egypt, they had better shape up. The lovely one and the stranger are the alien gods that people in Judah also pray to. People think their harvest will then flourish, but actually, it will be a disaster. The paragraph about the nations has potential for being good news, though only if it's challenged and also accepted. The nations often means the empire as a whole. In Isaiah's day, Assyria, the pressure of people such as Syria, Ephraim, and Sudan, Egypt correctly presuppose that Assyria is a great threat to their area. Isaiah declares that people need not fear the roar of the Assyrian beast. When Yahweh bellows, it will run away. In the evening it may terrify you, by morning it can be gone. The story in Isaiah 37:38 will put flesh on the bones of this declaration. Once again, Isaiah challenges people to trust that Yahweh is capable of having things in hand. It will also be a means of witnessing to Yahweh's sovereignty in the world and of embodying what it means to follow Yahweh. Anything stood out? No? All right. So it's interesting. So Smooth Skin is talking about right now the Sudanese were ruling Egypt. And so when Yahweh is dealing with these foreign nations, he's calling Israel to not get happy, like don't like get all suddenly celebrate because they're also compromising. And if he's in, you know, it's actually like a lot of times Yahweh is a lot more strict with his people because he has a covenant relationship with them. All right, friend, we can start. Okay, please do.
Actually, 2 talkers, not 1 talker.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, help! Come quickly!
I have some repair hammers now. Well, I bought 20 and I already used them all. Because my armor is low, and actually my stats right now into heavy and light armor are low, where like I get sneezed on and then all of a sudden my full gear is just broken.
Why not sneezed on? But,
You get my point.
I haven't heard much about him. I'm thinking about going down to Anvil to hear him for myself. Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you?
Thank you.
Tell me more. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. That's a fair deal.
Come back and see.
Be seeing you.
Oh, there's special stones that can be used to recharge my magical items. Okay.
half an hour. To get 5 speed potions.
Cool. Let them talk about me. Let them talk.
You have my ear, citizen.
You have my ear, citizen. You're just booking it. So down there. North, west a little bit. See right there. All right. So this Oblivion Gate. Hmm.
Hey, get the deer.
I saw it, but I'm going after this. Oh. That's me healing myself. Mm-hmm. I'm missing one. Which one am I missing? Let's go through it. Is that a third?
Oh. No, no. Oh my.
Your prayers have woken me from my endless dream. Or perhaps you have entered my dream, and I still sleep. I think others have sometimes spoken to me. Others like you, but my memory is doubtful. Perhaps the others came after you. Your need must be great for the gods to allow us to speak. has Umaril the Accursed found a way back. The foulest of a foul race. 1,000 curses upon his unholy name. I thought I'd won, but I should have known.
Yeah.
The slave masters are a cunning breed. Umaril found a way to cheat death as I could not. If you would seek for my relics, I know little that can help you. All that has passed since my death is like mist that my mind cannot take hold of. My friends built a shrine upon the site of my death, where the elves tormented me in a final act of revenge. I can show you where it once stood. Perhaps is there still. Fare thee well, Sir Knight. May the gods grant you to destroy Umaril utterly, as I failed to do.
Oh my god, bro. Get away from me.
Hey, Broheim. We can dip whenever you're ready. It's over there. Brendan moved it because he set his computer up there. I don't know. It was plugged in. Don't I? You ready to go? Okay. She does. That's USB. Get out of this cave. Oh, what's that? Let me get out of this cave.
You don't have to.
Why does it will help me know where to go next? Yeah. You can't reach it. Okay, let me. Think you got it? There we go. All right, I'm coming. See you guys.